2 Valentines ago, I had a crush. Let's just call her Zoe for right now, because I really don't want to get in trouble. This girl was one of the best people I've ever met in my life. We used to go out movies, we used to go out for ice cream, we used to do so much together. And after a while, I started to think myself that I actually kind of like this girl. So, like 2 or 3 days after we went watching Spider-Man, the Homecoming movie, I decided to ask her out. But stupidly, I got the flu. And, well, after I got the flu, and sadly, the flu was during the Valentine season, so I couldn't come to school and ask her the million-dollar question. So, as I was lying in my house, all sad, thinking how to give up to this situation, my house doorbell rang. Ding dong. I went downstairs, opened my door, and there she is, standing right there, holding a bag. She gave me the bag. She said, well, drink a lot of water, and she just went away. I closed my door and opened the bag. Inside the bag were 2 handmade cookies and a letter. Happy Valentine's. I hope you feel better soon. Thanks for sticking around. Love ya. And as an Indian kid, I gotta say, this blew my mind. Like, I didn't know how to react to this situation. It was like the best thing ever. And in Japan, this is custom called the White Day. So in Japan, Valentine's is more for the ladies, where the ladies give their cookies, chocolates, their love to the guys. And on White Day, it's the other way around, where the guys give the ladies all their love and stuff. So I was like, you know what? White Day is my day. It's gonna be my day. I'm gonna make it great. I'm gonna make it so good that she'll remember it forever. So fast forward a few months, I started going to the mall a lot. I started choosing chocolates. I handpicked chocolates. I even chose a rose. I chose her to get a white rose. I brought it all together. I stashed it in my locker and waited for the day. When the actual day came, I took her, it was on the 3rd floor, because my locker was in the 3rd floor. We went to our locker, and this was my plan. First plan was, both chocolate and roses were in my locker. So I would open my locker, I'll first grab the chocolates. I would do a 360 spin, and I'd first give her the chocolates. And then I would take the rose, I would do another 360 spin, and give her the rose and ask her the million-dollar question, would you be my girlfriend? And in my head, I was like this cool rapper, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good, this is gonna be so dope. So when the actual thing came, she was standing right there. I took one step back, I got the chocolates, did a 360 spin, and gave her the chocolates. She was like, oh my God, you're so nice, thank you, and blah, 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 blah. And then the next time, when I took the rose in my hand, and when I did a 360 spin, when I was somewhere right there, I see Jack. Jack was like my friend who I talked to a lot. He was more like my emotional support kind of guy. I used to tell him all these stories, how I felt, and he used to help me cope with it. And for a weird reason, that day he decided to pass by. And when he passed by, he did this. And because of that, all my confidence juice just flowed right out of me. So when I was trying to give her the rose, I stood like this, thinking like, well, how do I get out of this situation? Because I was stuck and I couldn't do anything about it. Well, but she was nice enough to be like, oh my God, so nice, thank you. And she tried to take the rose out of my hand, but my hand was so stuck. I was like, how do I move? But oh well, I got out of that situation somehow. And then we went downstairs. We walked another 20 meters together. She was on her bike, and she just went like, she was on her bike and she was like, so. And now in hindsight, I kind of guess she wanted me to ask the million-dollar question, because I was super flirty, and I was like, hey, what's up, every day. It was kind of disgusting if you think about it now, but that was just me back then. But I was like, I kind of thought like she wanted to go home or something. So I was like, oh my God, you need to go home, right? Yeah, go home. I'll catch up tomorrow. So she went that side, I went that side. As I was walking home, I started feeling like depressed and more depressed every step I took. Because I put in so much work, I put in like so much thought and energy, but the one moment I really wanted to shine, I couldn't, because, well, I guess that's just me. As you could kind of guess, the story does not end there. After that, I gave her a call. I was like, and she was like, hey, what's up? And I was like, hey, I need to tell you something. I was like, yeah, sure, what's up? Tell me. I was like, Zoe, I like you. And I started spilling all my heart and soul to her. And she was like, I think she was cringing on the other side, but she was like, oh, and she was super positive about it. She took it nicely. She was like, no, you're really, And then I asked her the million-dollar question. I was like, Zoe, would you meet my girlfriend? And then she said this. I think you're cool, and I love hanging out with you, but we're just friends. Yeah, back then I was crying to this. And as a guy, you never want to hear this, because this is straight up friend zone. And it just really hurt me. I almost felt devastated. And, well, that was that. So as this TED Talk was coming closer, I wanted to ask my friends, because I know like how some people feel about me. I wanted, sorry, I wanted to ask my friends how they felt about me. So I interviewed them. The main 3 things I got from them were, you're friendly, you're positive, and you're kind. As you could kind of guess, these are the things you say to people when you have nothing to say or when you're trying to hide something. It's like, you're kind, you're positive, you're friendly. It's like, do you really think about that? Do you? But oh well. So then I asked them this. What do you actually think about me? Because I really, really wanted to get deep inside this. And the first thing I got was this. A slight narcissist. Okay. I was like, wait, what did I do? Like, why am I a slight narcissist? And the reason she gave me, now that I think about it, she's completely right. She said, because I apparently send her weird selfies. And in my perspective, before you judge me, I think these are really good selfies. These are really good Snapchat selfies. But, oh, thank you. But, oh well. Apparently a slight narcissist. And extremely active. Like, I guess I've been walking around, I am super active as well. I'm slightly self-centered as well, because I put my opinion out there, and people are like, dude, you shouldn't say that. I was like, I don't care, like, I think about that. Slightly weird. Okay, this I can't argue, I am slightly weird. And I'm apparently a communist. I have no idea why, but I was like, dude, why am I a communist? It was like, you just are, man, you just are. And full disclosure, these slightly, they didn't say this, they just went for straight narcissist, self-centered, weird. I kind of wanted to put it there because it makes it feel better. And when you look at these things, they have no correlation between them. That's that, that's this. And it's just like, people say like, oh, you're friendly, you're kind, but they actually don't mean any of those things. And the thing is, I don't really truly identify myself as that. I'll relatively identify things like, well, first of all, I'm an Indian boy, like, duh. Another thing is, I am grateful for everything. Like, if someone could give me a chocolate and I'll be like, thank you, I owe you my life or something, I don't know. Like, I could be, like, sometimes really weird as well, but I don't know. I am an okay dancer as well. Like, I just started dancing, like, I guess, whatever. A pretty good runner as well. Like, yeah, I've been attending a lot of marathons and stuff like that, so I'm apparently a good marathon. And if there's anything, I'm a capitalist, not a communist. So when you look at these things and these things are, except the communist part, these things are relatively negative and not really positive if you think about it. I was like, why is that? What made people think that I'm so narcissistic or extremely active? And there's this man I really look up to. He's been one of my biggest idols, one of my greatest inspirations, and I look at him at a daily basis. His name is Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. He was originally born in the Soviet Union, and he came to America during the Cold War, and now he's a big-time entrepreneur in America. And according to his theory, he says that people judge people because it comes from a part of insecurities. Like, I can just go like, you suck, and the fact that I'm saying that, it means that I hate about myself, and I think I suck at something, that's why I'm putting it to someone else. And another thing that is, people don't know your story. People don't know my story. People don't know anything, and they still somehow have the audacity to say things like, oh, you're a narcissist, oh, you're you're this, you smell like curry, and stuff like that. So, well, here goes my 30-second life story. My life story mainly consists of 3 things: racism, bullying, and depression. These 3 things kind of screwed up my life in the first place. Well, I was actually, there we go. I was actually born in India, and right after I was born, I was brought to Japan because my parents wanted to give me like a good education or a good life and things like that, and that was understandable, so they brought me here. And then I grew up in this place called Niigata. It's another prefecture. I think in that direction, I may be wrong, but Yeah, I grew up in Niigata and Gunma, this place. And in that time, the people called me a lot of names. Like, for example, like people used to go like, "Uwa, kuro da, uwa, kimochiwaru, uwa, kuru na, sawaru na." And people used to say, like, if I roughly translate that, it was like, "Oh my God, he's black, he's dirty, he's disgusting, stay away from us." And I got that a lot. And over time, you kind of get used to it, and you stop caring as well. But that's something I used to get a lot. And the fact that I did not have a lot of friends because I did not share a lot of interests, because people used to be like, "Oh, do you play Inazuma 11 Cars? Let's trade, man." But like, I never had any of those because I was more of a Phineas and Ferb kind of kid. So that was another story of mine. And sometimes school was just unbelievably stressful, especially my junior high years. It was just, sometimes I just felt like doing nothing. I was like, you know what, screw it. So these things were our main story points. And when you look at them, they kind of do explain all of these things. Like, I'm a slight narcissist. Well, I guess I'm unique and I love myself. Extremely active. Extremely active. Well, I guess I am. Slightly self-centered because I put my opinion out there because I value myself more than anything. Slightly weird. I guess that's that. Communist, I still have no idea. And we humans have a lot of insecurities. This also, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk also says this a lot, but we all have a lot. I used to have them a lot, but now relatively I don't. For example, like I used to be really insecure about my skin color or my accent. Like my accent isn't completely native. Mine has more relatively Indian touch to it, but I'm cool with it, I guess. I'm even doing a TED Talk about it now, so yeah. And it is that I try to cope with mine rather than running away. Because we are who we are in the end. We can try to be something else, we might try to act something else, but in the end of the day, we can't run away from ourselves. So if I had to connect it back to my Zoe story, I would say that I guess I am okay for just being a friend with Zoe. At least it's better running away from my insecurities for the rest of my life. Thank you.